promise you that I feel much better than I sound. But I didn't want to delay recording this video because it is about a new release from the perfume brand Kayali. Welcome to the reintroduction of you, whether it's your first time or you're returning. I just want to thank you for spending a few minutes of your day with me today. We can go ahead and talk about the really big elephant in the room, and that's why it is that I sound like I have been smoking unfiltered cigarettes since I was 8 years old. I actually live in the Midwest. Our weather has just changed from the frigid winter and just like fast speed went into spring. I have the worst allergies in the world. So this is the result of that transition and the leaves budding and the trees blossoming, or do trees blossom? I don't know, but stuff coming back alive. But despite that, I did want to make sure that I recorded this video so that I could come to you and talk about Kayali's new fragrance, which is the Kayali Majesty Fleur Rose Royale 31. Holy smokes, that's a mouthful. I will let you know off the rip that there is one magic word. There's one magic word in that fragrance, and that is rose. And I will tell you that I actually despise the rose scent. I'm dead serious. It is probably one of two notes that I absolutely despise: rose and oud. So you might be thinking, why in the hell did you try it, Osceola? There's literally rose in the name, and I'll tell you why. So normally when I look at notes in a fragrance, I'll decide whether or not I want to try it. And if I saw rose or if I saw oud, I'd run, fast paced in the opposite direction. But what I've learned is that depending on how it's blended, how it's made, what it's paired with, that sometimes it actually does well to complement the fragrance as opposed to like being its own standout. So I have decided to smell things before I just cast them off as something that I'm not going to be interested in. And so that's the reason why it is that I went ahead and picked this up. First of all, let's talk about this bottle. From pink to purple, that kind of ombre effect, I just thought was very, very pretty, especially with the accent of the gold top. All of the bottles have that fade, have that ombre, and I just thought that was really pretty, very eye-catching. I actually stopped into a Sephora inside of a Kohl's to smell this, and despite the fact that rose is in the name, I'm like, I like Kayali stuff. I'm going to try it. If I hate it, I hate it. If I like it, I like it. All right, so the notes for this fragrance, the top notes are going to be mandarin orange. Those are two different notes, mandarin and orange. Juicy pear and sweet peach. And then the middle notes are magnolia, white peony or peony, rose, centrifolia, and violet wood. So lots and lots and lots of flowers, heavy dose of floral. And then the dry notes are vetiver, Kayali signature accord, which could be water. We don't know what the signature accord is, but Kayali signature accord, ambrox, vanilla, praline, and musk. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was in the store, the first thing that hit me in the face was rose. It was just like, I'm Rose. And I'm like, oh, Rose. And I'm sitting there like, Rose, like, can you buy me a drink? Can you get to know my name first before you just jump all up in my face? It was crazy. And I was like, oh God, this is a huge mistake. But I will say that that rose really fell back in a very short period of time. It was still there, but it did fall back. Now the top notes with all this citrus and pear and sweet peach, I got a little bit of pear, got a little bit of peach. I didn't get any citrus, but that's just to my nose. And then that rose to me was, I'm surprised that rose isn't a top note, because to me that's all I smelled as soon as I smelled it. But anyway, so with the middle notes being magnolia, peony, rose, centrifolia, and violet wood, it's nothing but flowers, lots and lots of florals. And Kayali is not really known for florals. Like, they have some floral components in some of their fragrances, but this is a front and center floral. This is an out and out in your face sweet floral. And I don't know if I've smelled almost all of their fragrances, and I don't know of any other fragrance that is this front and center floral. So this was really a nice departure for people who love florals from what she normally does with the sweet and, you know, sassy, sexy sweetness. This is very much a nice departure from that. And then of course the dry notes were the dry down is vetiver, signature accord, ambrox, vanilla praline, and musk. So interesting thing is that the dry down still has a hint of rose, but I'm getting mostly the sweetness from the vanilla, the smoothness from the musk. I'm getting a lot of that sweetness. I am not smelling punch you in the face rose on the dry down, which I'm happy for, because like I said, I'm not really that much of a rose fan. But because of that, it was really nice. So as long as I got past that initial spray and that initial hit of rose, this ended up being quite a beautiful fragrance to me. And for me, this is the part that I loved, and that's okay, because that's the part that's gonna hang around the longest, is the dry down. So I still had just a smidge rose note, but for the most part, that creamy vanilla, musky note is what I'm getting for the long haul. So I will say, with Kayali's fragrances, a lot of people talk about how they don't last very long. For me, I don't necessarily have that problem. My Kayali's right out the box will take me 6 to 8 hours before it really starts to fade on my skin. This, however, was fading at about the 4-hour point. So this didn't have, to me, the same longevity that I've had with other Kayali scents. Now, what I do know is, and what is, you know, fairly common knowledge when it comes to fragrances, is that if the longer you let them sit, the longer you let them develop, the more intense they become, the more longer lasting they become. And sometimes you'll even be able to see the change in the juice. Sometimes the juice will start out as maybe a nice clear color and move into something that's more amber after 6-8 months of sitting. Of course, you want to make sure that you store your fragrances out of the sunlight, preferably in a cool, dark place that doesn't have a lot of humidity. But, you know, some of us don't have cool, dark places to store our perfume. So as long as it's not in the sunlight, it should do okay and last you a good while. So I'm really looking forward to what this is going to smell like 4 months, 6 months down the line. So anyway, this for me, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, this was probably about a 7.2 for me. This is I only have one other true floral, and that is the Gucci Flora, what is it called? Vanilla Orchid. And strangely enough, it's one that has a floral component but ends with something that's vanilla. It's not just punchy floral the entire duration of the fragrance. So I think that's going to be my saving grace when it comes to florals, is it ending with something sweet and creamy at the end and not just staying true to life of floral throughout the life of the scent. Anyway, that is my review for Kayali today. Have you tried it? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. I promise you guys, I have some other clothing hauls coming, some other things coming besides fragrance. But fragrance is my bag right now, and I'm really just enjoying exploring the fragrances that are out there. Again, I apologize for my voice. Hopefully it wasn't too bad for you guys to listen to, but I really wanted to get this information out to you for anybody who may be looking for some reviews on the Kayali Fleur Majesty Rose Royale. If you have any comments, suggestions, or you just want to say hello, you know to do it below. But otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye.